Good night, everybody,
Night,
and
night.
welcome again to Island Fans. Tonight, I have more with me. I have Suko with me. I'm here to break down what happened over the past weekend. We need to discuss a little bit about football, just in general, some transfers that's going on. I think I've seen
Hmm.
just in last couple hours there. Martia's loan to Sevilla has been completed. And we're looking to some more moves. Well, I am praying that Arsenal make some moves. I mean, that would be danger for the rest of the league. So I know Suko and more not praying for that. So we'll see how it goes. Let's just jump straight into it, fellas. Go, more jump talk. So Suko, I know you messaged me because we was talking over the weekend, and goal
Yeah,
of the week, goal of the weekend, I should say, go to Ziyech.
yeah. I didn't see many of the other games to really think
Same
that
here.
there was a outstanding other goal apart from his. Um, maybe Sergeant with his scorpion kick.
Sergeant,
Yeah,
Sergeant was pretty lucky, don't you think?
yeah, yeah. I mean, probably like the ball was behind him, and his only way for him to get to the ball was to
Yeah,
flick his
I
foot
think
away anyway. You know, but
that's a little
yeah,
lucky there on his part. But it would be hard to beat the Ziyech one, even without seeing any goal for the weekend,
yeah.
any other goal than that. Just seeing that. Because I saw an angle today on Twitter too. As one
Hmm.
of the fans that was in the stands, that angle was perfect. Because you
Hmm.
saw the height, and I mean, Loris didn't even bother to move because he knew he wasn't
Yeah, he can
catching that.
move. Yeah.
All right, Moy, so we were discussing the goal of the weekend. Ziyech for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. My player of the weekend. Let me just go straight out and say so. Without watching too much of the game. I know. I think that Robertson has a show too. But
Mm.
I thought watching this game in particular, Salisu stood out. I think Salisu was dynamite on Saturday
Mm.
versus
City.
Manchester City.
Hmm.
Y'all agree?
Yeah.
Disagree?
Yeah, he
Y'all just
defended
playing
very
together.
well. Played easily like the best player, I guess, for Southampton on the day.
Right now, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Moy, what say you? Moy,
Well,
yo, go ahead. We can hear you.
at the moment, it feels like it's sticky.
I
Okay,
see.
I'm
Moy,
good now. Yeah, I think I'm good now.
you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear y'all now.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
I'll go.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, Salisu was a good shout, but watching the Chelsea and Tottenham game, I would go with Ziyech. I think that's the best I've ever seen him play
Hmm.
since he arrived to the Premier League. I mean, he really looked up to the game yesterday. Like he has, you know, he wanted the win. He was on the ball early in the half, and the
Hmm.
goal just tops it off also. So that's why I would give
All right.
him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, the game of the weekend, did they have any game that stood out in particular to anybody?
Mm.
Not off the top of my
Mm.
head. Maybe,
Not really.
maybe Brentford Wolves. Maybe Brentford Wolves. No.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, I
that
don't
game.
know.
I
The
mean,
Man U, I didn't see the entirety of the Man U game. Did
Mhm.
it have a lot of chances? Or Man U just nicked it at the end?
Yeah, that was the Manu game was a good game. At one point where you were having, you getting a few decent chances on the other, I guess each end, and then you just never knew how that game was going to go
Right.
till till Cavani came off the bench. Because I mean, they had the subs and so on, and then yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, then let's just jump into the games. Go ahead, Mo. You have some?
I was saying the Norwich game and now kind of stood out to me too.
Hmm.
That was that had too many lulls
I,
for me. I mean,
yeah, but
now
I
it's did
guess
the thing.
despite the lulls, it was it was a big victory for them. Basically, helped them to get out of the relegation zone and a 3-0 win, which we don't really see that often for them.
Yeah.
And let's start right there, Mike. We're gonna go through these games. We're gonna go through them quickly.
Hmm.
Watford, Norwich, like you just said, Norwich was the big victors for me over this weekend.
Yeah.
What can I mean? We've talked about it. getting a good run. And I've spoken to you about
Mm.
this. The season still have a lot of games to go. And Moy
Yeah.
and I touched on it last week, Thursday too, when he was here.
Hmm.
What can a win like this do for Norwich? And should the Norwich fans get ahead of themselves and to now start think of beating the drop?
Well, I think that the thing that probably I would say maybe a little bit against them, but you see that's that kind of season that we have, right? You have Newcastle and Watford still having games in hand to play.
Right, 22.
You see, and it's still separated kind of like by 1 point in there. Norwich have played almost all the games. I think they have only one game in hand to play. So as it stands right now, they're far from from escaping the drop.
Okay, but let me then throw this one to Moy. Points in the hand, points on the board. Sorry, points on the board, or games in hand. Which one would you prefer? Especially in this position, because it may change depending on the position you're in. So,
Yeah,
which one would you prefer being in Norwich's position? Points on the board or games in hand?
I prefer points on the board
Mm,
because I even join now. Let me just use a City analysis quick also because I know Liverpool have like a game in hand also. So
mm,
then we normally say that City
So you
continue
have two.
winning. Yeah, there's an
yeah.
added pressure on Liverpool, but I think it's probably equal pressure to City. So like we have two games in hand still, but we play.
Hmm.
Don't worry about that. So that's why I think just going forward and just steady at your own pace is
Hmm.
what I say would be the best for me.
I agree.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
agree.
when I was listening to the one of the games, I can't remember which game it was. I think it must have been one of the games on Saturday. I think it might have been the Man U game. They were saying that points on the board is by far better than having games in
I
hand,
believe.
because games
Right.
in hand is just like it's just like, okay, yeah, you have to play them, but then you don't know what's the results. You know, the results can go anyway. Yeah, you can win your match, but then equally you can lose it. So
Right.
there's nothing that's guaranteed. The only thing
I
is that
mean,
the maximum number of points you can get from this game is only 3 points. You understand?
and then the other factors come into the play, like injuries. You don't know how
Yes.
that can hamper your
Yeah.
season. Because okay,
Exactly.
yeah, Liverpool weathered the storm when Salah was at Afghan, but no, they have two games in hand. What if he comes back on the first one and gets injured? Then it messes with your thought process again too. So let's jump to now, because Everton look like they could be drawn into this relegation battle.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't they sacked their manager. I mean, I thought
Mm.
it was a pretty tough loss for them on the weekend. Calvert
Yeah.
Lewin came back. He had a couple of
Hmm.
sniffs at the goal, but nothing really clear
Hmm.
cut. Everton in danger of getting too close. I mean, I said going down there, because I don't
Hmm.
think I think they'll be able to drop, of
Hmm.
getting too close to that relegation zone.
Yeah. Shaq, it's really how these players respond to the new to, I guess, the interim coach that they have right
Right.
now.
Right.
Um, I saw an improvement in the play. They were just
Okay.
I think a little bit unfortunate that they actually didn't score against Villa, because they really got some good chances in that game. And they look like, with the Corey back in the middle, they look they
Right.
they look a lot more solid. They
They
look
look
like the old
threatening.
Everton
Okay.
under Ancelotti. You understand? They look a lot better. So maybe that might just be a little bit of a turnaround for them. Probably they might be able to. And then the thing about it, then they have 2 games more or less in hand. Well, 3 games actually in hand. So again, you have to look at that aspect
Well,
too.
they're going to have to try and pick it up,
Yep.
because I mean results just keep going against them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's similar to Arsenal. I mean, we've had a
Mm-hmm.
torrid month. We've had a
Mm-hmm.
torrid month, and we can touch on the Arsenal game, because here was I on Thursday, like they come into the carpet fresh off of being eliminated from the FA Cup, from the
Mm-hmm.
Carabao Cup.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of a we've lost the City earlier in the month. Coming, especially seeing Man United win late, knowing that
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea was playing Tottenham after us, and that's a chance for us to push ahead of Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there would have been an impetus there, but our squad have been depleted, and this is not an excuse, of course. But I really thought that we should have won that game. I really thought that we could have come
Yeah.
out winning that game. We had chances. Laka had a chance, a really good chance. We squandered it. I just
Mhm.
don't know what's going on with Ormond. And yes, we do need signings. I think other clubs can say the same thing too. But when we've been light, very light in the midfield area, and I'm hearing maybe like this afternoon that we've agreed a deal to pay Arthur's all of Arthur's wages until June. So hopefully we can get him back. We on a break, ain't it? I don't think Arsenal play for the
Yeah,
next
that's a week.
17 days.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. 2 weeks.
we have Terry here in the comments. Yes, Terry.
Hmm.
Yeah, Terry. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while. We haven't seen
A
you in a
long
while.
time.
All right. Let's go now. I think Brentford Wolves continue to win. They find a
Yeah.
way yet again. They find a way yet again. How much praise can we give Bruno Lage for what he's doing? Because yeah, we saw
Mhm.
Pochettino, not Pochettino. What's his name? That got sacked from Spurs there.
No, no.
Nuno
Yeah.
came, Nuno did his thing. They were hard to beat also, but no, it
Hmm.
seems like they're a bit more resolute. I feel like they were
Yeah,
scoring
it
more
looks like.
goals on
Yep.
the Nuno, but no, they're
Yeah.
resolute defensively. What do we have to
Hmm.
say about Bruno Lage?
I mean, you have to give him his praise where it's due,
Hmm.
and especially they're what top eight in the Premier League at the moment.
Hmm.
I
Around there,
mean,
right?
The eighth.
that's a
Hmm.
massive achievement for them so far. And yeah, you got to give it to him. He's got them playing there and grinding out these results and
Yeah.
sticking in the top 10, even better top
That's
8,
right.
fighting for
Hmm.
European spot.
Is that a good spot? Do you think coming into the season with a new manager, do you think that Suka, let me just ask you, where did you have them finishing? Would you say that they're punching above their weight right now?
Um, I think I had them like just about where they are. Maybe about seven,
Okay.
eight, thereabout. So I think they've been doing pretty well, and then they too as well have a couple games in hand to play. So we don't know how that goes. If they win them,
Yeah.
then you know, yeah.
All right, let's jump to Newcastle. Newcastle versus Leeds.
Hmm.
Newcastle won a game. I repeat, Newcastle have won a game. 1
Yeah.
nil to Newcastle. Um, this could be, and it could really be the start of what we really thought that Newcastle would have been this season. Somewhere around the middle of the pack, middle of the second page, 14,
Hmm.
15, somewhere around there. Newcastle, I
Yeah.
think they can do it. I really
Hmm.
don't think Newcastle will get relegated. Do you guys agree with me?
100%.
Yeah. I think they can beat the drop.
I do believe. I do believe. So I think they have the quality too. And I don't
Yes.
think they're finished. We have a week left in the window. I
Hmm.
don't think they've finished shopping, and that can only help them. Especially, I think they
Hmm.
need another midfielder there. They can get another centre back.
Yeah.
I don't. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know if how Wood is acclimatizing.
Hmm.
So but
Yeah. I didn't see much
personally,
from him, but
right? Personally, I didn't like that signing. But guess who's available?
I think,
yeah.
what that mean is when we're talking about it on an earlier show and we said they need proven Premier League players that know their way about it and it's like basically grit and grind. And Chris Wood is that grit and grind player that he has done it for Burnley and saved them a number of times. So I think,
Hmm.
especially with who, what he's called, Callum Wilson,
Yeah.
that he's there to fill right until he comes back. Also,
Right, but see, this is
Hmm.
what I was saying. Okay, when I think of Chris Wood, I'm not trying
Hmm.
to knock him or anything, but for me, Chris Wood, if you tell me, okay, pick one of these lesser strikers, Chris Wood or
Hmm.
Danny Ings or even Eddie Nketiah, I wouldn't. I mean, Chris Wood wouldn't be in the top of my list. As if if you want a goal, who you bringing on? Chris Wood? I don't know. He's just not as clinical for me. That's just my preference. That's just my preference. But Manchester United versus West Ham United. 1-0 to them Red Devils. A late one, they call it Fergie time. We can see Rashford
Very
tweeted that too. Fergie time. They won that game, putting
Yeah.
more pressure or putting this stamp or letting everyone see, oh, we're serious about this top four push. They
Hmm.
too have, I think they have games in hand. Do they have games in hand still?
I think they have one.
maybe
Yeah,
one also.
Yeah, about one.
I mean, let's talk about United a bit. I mean, it wasn't like a statement victory or anything, but they won the game nevertheless. I wish I had beaten Burnley 1-0.
Yeah. You see how important those 3 points look now, right?
And
Yeah. However,
that
win
goes a
comes.
long way.
That's it. Yep.
That goes a
Yep.
long way.
Yeah. And then
yeah,
we
and
knew how
especially,
important that goal was. That when they scored that goal, it was like what, about 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
That
Virtually
was
the
like,
last kick of the game.
yeah.
yeah,
Just
I think
crushes it.
that
I don't
honestly,
know.
I
It's
think
like West Ham push up so much, as if like they believe that they should have that they should have gone for the 3 points instead of settling for the one, because the game was petering out into a draw, and then and then United catch them on the break, just like that, and then one through pass, they put away the chance, and that's it.
I mean, and there was a lot of controversy because when we saw
Yeah.
the pictures, when we saw
Hmm.
those stills, Cavani looked miles offside.
Yeah, he
So I
looked
don't,
to the
I didn't
naked
know
eye.
he draw the lines and he's
Yeah.
on side. It was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So that's that. But then, I mean, boy, you were only able to draw your game on Saturday.
yeah, that
Boy,
was.
you can hear us?
I mean, y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but is your phone vibrating?
If what?
Is your phone vibrating? We getting a vibrating noise.
Hold on there. Y'all still
Okay.
hearing it? Y'all still getting it?
No.
No.
Okay.
You didn't tell
So
her
yeah, what
that
I
you
was
were an
saying now?
island fan? You didn't tell her that you were an island fan, just give you some time. Because I know your phone vibrated, boy. Like she really want to try and get you, man. Yeah, so we're talking about your game. You could only manage a draw. I mean, you're
Yeah,
well, watching that game was a resolute performance from Southampton. Tell me your thought.
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I was at work when the game started, and trying to watch the game on and off. And that time when I managed to look down, I saw Southampton scored an early goal, and
Mhm.
it was pretty shocked. I was pretty shocked to see that Southampton went up early. I know
Mhm.
by right on the preview show I gave Man City a 4-0 victory, and I must
Mhm.
say Southampton let me eat my words because
Mhm.
I mean City was dominant in that game, but Southampton took their chances when they had to get on the counter
Mhm.
attacks. What was his name? Borja.
Yeah,
He
Boja.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
he
yeah.
was a thorn also up front.
Mhm.
Yeah, getting in those runs. Kyle Walker Peters get on the end of the goal. It was a good goal too. Um,
Mhm.
all in all, it was basically some poor efforts. Sterling was poor in that game. I still can't believe that he managed to miss that shot.
Yeah.
It was a good save.
Um, yeah, yeah,
More having on the internet
good
trouble
save,
there.
but just like the one in Champions League. Was that?
Go ahead. You're having some internet trouble. Go ahead, Moy.
Yeah, y'all hear me?
We are.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying we expect Sterling to score those goals, especially like the one that he did in the Champions League that he ended up and missed too. But Pep gave some news saying that it was an incredible team performance, despite everyone not saying that we drew or whatnot. I mean, we came out way better in the second half. It was good
Mhm.
that Laporte ended up and got on the board for us. But yeah, I think we needed to get that win, especially with Liverpool knocking to creep up there with games in hand
Mhm.
still. So we just continue to take it here from here one at a time, as
Mhm.
we always saying.
All right, let me get Terry in here. He laughing. The good news is Chelsea don't play Spurs again for the season. The bad news is I don't know who else Chelsea can bang. Chelsea always beats Tottenham. Always beats Tottenham. That's automatic. I think I heard the
Uh,
commentary say yesterday. Oh, I mean, this is inevitable. We know this
Hmm.
is what's going to happen. So just y'all be top now. Let's go now to Liverpool. Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Liverpool, they haven't really
Yeah.
missed the beat with
Yeah.
Mane and Salah being out. They're at the finals of the Carabao Cup. They're
Hmm.
still, I mean, if they win the two games in hand, then they go 6 points behind the City. So, I mean, they're not far off. And
No,
then they have
I
to
think it's
play
one game that they have in hand.
one.
It's
Yeah.
one.
If they win it, then they'll be six behind.
Okay, so they'll be 6 points behind the
Yeah.
City,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
they still have them and City still have to play again.
Yes.
So if they beat
Yes.
City now, it's just three
We're
points.
just 3 points behind, and
So I
anything
mean,
could.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've said a couple of weeks ago, title race done. We've called it. We said the City, but
Hmm.
they can be caught. I mean, like you were saying earlier too,
Hmm.
Kwa, with all
Hmm.
these games in hand, you just never know. You just never know. I
Yeah.
mean, Manchester City could, they could have a two game run where they don't win, and
Hmm.
Liverpool close the gap, and then we have a race to the end.
Hmm.
It's possible.
Hmm.
With this thing, right? I've been saying, like I said before, that I don't think it would come down to a game between like City and Liverpool for the title race. Because like how City managed to drop points against Southampton, I think it would be against those, let's say, so-called lit team, as we normally say, that could easily decide the title race. I've even been hearing that the title race is between City, Liverpool, and VAR to see who wins the championship, because some of the backlogs over recent weeks was crazy.
Yeah.
But gave Liverpool their props. They have been holding their weight without
Hmm.
Salah and Mane. Not very much different team, but Jota has been really picking up the slack
Hmm.
when without a Firmino that we accustomed to.
Hmm.
And I mean, Jota has
I think
been brilliant.
Ox and then Ox hasn't been playing that badly neither.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at the form of Trent, and even think yesterday, Robertson
Hmm.
had two assists.
Yeah.
I mean, the fullbacks. Okay, I mean, we've said many times, oh, Salah, Liverpool is Salah and Mane. That's where the goals come
Hmm.
from. But can we make an argument that Trent and Robertson is more
Hmm.
important to the system than
Hmm.
Salah and Mane?
Hmm. Is equally as important, I believe,
Okay,
because of how they play. Now, teams that play a very like a good wing. Well, I won't say they play a wing back system per se, but the way they play, it looks like a wing back system, right? Because they're always on the attacking front,
right.
bombing those crosses in from either side. So it's always very difficult to pinpoint and say this it's just Salah and Mane, but it's how those guys get those passes in. So that's how equally important you see those two wing backs.
I think
All
I
right.
think I that
Go ahead.
that they would see Liverpool occupy the top three on the assist charts at the moment.
Hmm.
They they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. They're creative. And one thing I always like about Liverpool, and this is why I keep saying about Jurgen Klopp. This is why I really like Jurgen Klopp as a manager, because you take a player out, the next player comes in. It may not be of the
Hmm.
same quality, but you know the intensity is going to be there. And sometimes just being mere intensity can win you points, and then you get
Yeah.
your quality players can win you the game. It's possible. So let's start. Those are the games for the weekend. Those are again, there were some other games too, but we won't really discuss that. I want us to talk about James Ward-Prowse,
Hmm.
because in my mind, maybe he does divide opinion. He's excellent on a dead ball. He's a really good passer,
Hmm.
but can he be the starting midfielder? Is he a six? Okay, first question: is he a six? Is he a eight? Is he a 10? And the next question I would
Hmm.
ask is, can he make it at one of these top teams, being either one of those positions? Do we think he's a good enough? If he is a 10, is he a good enough 10? Is he a good enough 8? Is he a good enough 6? That's the question, fellas. Let's start. We can start with Sukwa.
Um, I mean, as as he plays now, I guess he's more a deeper lying midfielder who will be
Right.
able to pick passes and stuff. But it would have been very interesting to see though, him in a number 10 position. I think he could play that role. I mean, he's never had that opportunity probably on the
Mm.
teams that he's played, but I would have liked to have seen him as a number 10. because yes, his passing range is longer when because he's deeper then, but I think he can play some really good key passes, to play his strikers in or his wingers in. Um, the guy looks very. I mean, I would say it's hard for me to say he can play only one position because he looks capable of playing all three, right? But I guess he's just given the opportunity probably on a bigger team. You can probably really see what his potential is like. So
I mean, I. That's why I'd say he probably divides opinion. We won't come to you right now more because I mean, when if he's around better players, then maybe he can raise his level.
mm,
That's a possibility. And I do know that we can't fault his work ethic. You can't because he works hard.
mhm.
I think he has really good passing ability. But then I just don't know if he is that more like who could we liken him to then? I don't know more you can answer that question if you just have one on the top of your mind. If you who could liken him to. Because I just somebody from a big club. Let me throw a name at you. Let's throw Kovacic. Is he as good as Kovacic?
Mm.
I don't think so.
I
Let me
think
answer. I don't think so.
let me just put this here. I think if he does make the move to a big team, right? I think he wouldn't get the praise as much. He could probably fall on the radar, probably like a Jorginho or Kovacic that we know they're good, but you just won't be saying it. I could be wrong, but I guess he would be on the like that under the radar type, but just right there. That don't be talked enough in the midfield.
Yeah, I I I don't know. That's what I think. I mean, Suku was out. We were talking about it. I think it's last week, and
Mhm.
ever since then, I've been trying to think. Because I mean, Arsenal shot in the midfield right now. Could he really help? That's what I'm thinking about. Could he really help? Does he have the skill set to help to
Mhm.
for what we really need? If somebody tell me, okay, if Arsenal buy James Watford, I won't
Mhm.
be mad, but I don't think I'll
You
be
shouldn't.
excited.
Yeah.
I won't be
Mhm.
mad, but I won't be excited. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it just depends on what kind of system the would you trust him playing alongside like Xhaka or Partey, you understand? And then he has the
Right.
youngsters ahead of him that he can pick passes out to. Now, in a system like that, it can probably work for him because he has the players ahead of him that he can pick, and that's a young team going forward. That's a good thing that works in Arsenal's favor. That's a very young team in terms of the attackers going forward. So, um, if it has to happen, something like that, I mean, I can see it. I can see probably his abilities in that team, for example.
Coming out,
So.
coming out more. Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Let's touch on Martial now. Martial, a couple of
Mhm.
years ago,
Uh,
he was good. Okay, I'm not saying
mhm.
he was good. He was playing well. He was playing well.
Mhm.
Coming into the league, he had a big name. He had a big price tag. I can remember a couple of seasons ago, and I won't even front. I wanted Martial at Arsenal when Jose Mourinho was there. I thought, yo, let's buy this man off Manchester United's hand because I thought we wanted someone coming off of the left who's tricky, who's fast and who can score goals. What happened to Martial?
Mhm.
I think he just probably you could say just fell out of he just fell out of favor and wasn't really himself. I guess you could
Mhm.
Is-
blame
So
probably
is
I
he
mean,
not? Sorry, there,
uh
more. Let me just interrupt you. Is he Manchester United quality? Or you just think, okay, because sometimes some players just have some bad form and they just never pick it back up again. But they have it. They have it in them to score goals and to score goals consistently. Can we let me just put the question this way. Can we depend on Martial to score goals regularly in the Premier League with a constant run of games?
I personally think so, but because of these other signings like the likes of Ronaldo and Cavani, and then
Mhm.
you still have the likes of Greenwood, which is younger. So you tend to put Greenwood over Martial. And you still have a
Mhm.
Rashford that you think Rashford is
Yeah.
basically the face of United. As we think
Mhm.
he and Martial should have been the ones carrying United to a higher height. But then, I mean, I don't know. It's fun. It's funny. I
Mhm.
think the side helps to
Shaq.
push him out even more. So
Mhm.
it's crazy.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay. Go ahead.
yeah, Shaq.
Super.
What I think with him is that it's just a lot of competition for his spot. He plays on that left, and it's Rashford. I mean, they can interchange it. It's just very competitive on that side for him right now. He had one really good season, I think, with Ollie. I think either his first or his second season, and he was like almost like a regular starter, and he was scoring goals.
Yeah.
And then afterward, he fell out of favor and so on, and it's just been a struggle for him. That to that point now, he has to go out on loan, and it's very hard to
So
get
you,
back into because it's just the system. And again, there's a lot of competition for his place, actually what his preferable position is right now.
I mean, I'm going to ask y'all to look in the future. I don't know how well we can do this, but I want to ask y'all to look in the future. And can Martial can Martial ever be sold again for the kind of money that he was sold for, that Manchester United bought him for? Do you think he can hit some kind of run farm again and even come back? Let's say Newcastle buy him for 50 million, or he would just be that okay, that player that 10, he gonna give you like seven, eight
10,
goals a season.
10, 10, 10 and 8 kind of that sort of
So
player.
he's not top four material. Yes
No,
or
I
no?
don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think
I
so.
don't
I
think
don't
so.
know,
It has been
man.
hard.
Ah, boy.
I
I guess we can argue that he shows us that he's not top four. Sorry, there, Moy. Go ahead.
I was saying I think he could force India. But I'm still looking on the aspect on how we performed going down to the end of the season for Sevilla, especially with them in second. So that
Right.
should some spark,
Mm. Oh,
some spark
And I
into
think
him.
Martial too. Right. And I think Martial wants. He looks like that type that wants an arm around him. You want the manager to say, "Yo, you really good. You really good." And maybe from Jose, Ole, maybe Ole wasn't doing that for him and just didn't work out. I guess that's how we go. So you have some players like that. You do have some
mhm.
players like that. I'm seeing now. This is the last one we're going to touch on. I'm seeing now. I mean, I'm the only Arsenal fan here, but I'm seeing now Arsenal in for they were in for Vlahovic. I see Juventus offer 30 million plus Kulachevsky for Vlahovic. And now we look like we turn no attention to Isak. I always wanted Isak first over Vlahovic. But of course I trust Edu and Arteta based on the signings they made for the summer. Some of them was like, yo, really? And then came out to be a good signing. So I just don't know how I would feel about Isaac coming in not as their first choice. But I do know that I like his skill set. He's fast, he can link the play up. And if it's one thing I saw from our games, been noticing from our games, we lack that. When I say focal point, I don't mean like a Giroud focal point. We lack that person who is going to be on the last man. Because Lacazette is thinking so much about passing now and creating and
Yeah.
build up. We need someone who's on that last man on the shoulder. He can play that ball over the top and he can get in behind. I do think we lack that because
Mhm.
like yesterday, everything we did was coming towards. We all came towards the ball. Like I said, just dropping deep towards the ball, linking here, and nobody was really getting beyond the defense line to
Mhm.
turn the burn the defenders. So he had to come now to Saka or Martinelli with some skill here, with a moment of brilliance there to get in behind them, and we just weren't able to do that. And then we also need a clinical striker. So I'm hoping that this person that he brings in could be clinical. But if personally for me, I would just say I would really like them to focus on the midfield and then let's deal with the attack in the summer. If we have to
Mhm.
choose one, understand that we want both, we need both right now. But if we had to choose one, I'd say fished up that midfield. Suki wanted to say something.
Yeah, well, I when I was following the transfer window news, then Arteta was saying that it's very difficult for them right now.
Right. Yeah, saw that.
Um, and normally, when a coach comes out and says that, or says that, it's like it's most likely they're not going to sign up anybody or have enough time to do any business. Really, it's just 1 week left,
I think
so
the
they might have to write it out,
I
possibly.
think the fans I think the fans will riot if we don't bring in somebody. Really and truly. But you see, I would prefer for them to write it out, like you said, Tukwa, than to make another panic buy. I really,
Yeah.
I really can't see that. Akani is here,
Mhm.
the night Akani. Long live Shaka. How you didn't come and say, you don't say come and say long live Tottenham. No new mid for your club anytime soon. Okay, all right. I mean, Shaka still better than all your midfielders anyway. Okay, this is another thing. JS is saying that's where Aubameyang comes in, and a lot of people have been saying, get Aubameyang out of his exile. Adebayor
Mhm.
came out of the clip, and that's why I
Yeah.
continue to not like Adebayor. Oh, that's Arsenal. They're not very forgiving. Nobody asking nothing about hush him out. We don't care. We don't care what you feel. We don't care about your feelings. You don't care about your feelings. You're
But
coming and talking about you've spoken to Aubameyang and this and that. Aubameyang is our captain. Aubameyang is our leader. He's our
mhm,
talisman. And time again, you have to be pulled up for discipline. And
mhm,
then now you talk about Arsenal not forgiving. How about the many times we've forgiven him before? How come you're not
mhm.
talking about that? Sorry, that's just
Yep.
my mini rant
Yeah.
on Adebayo. I don't like him
Yeah,
now.
but
We don't
actually,
like him.
shock. I've seen players in the past. They've been injured for most of the season or been out, and then they come in now to the second half of the season. It's almost like a new signing, especially if they get fit.
Right.
They're regularly training. An addition to the squad coming back in without having to go out there in the transfer window and panic buy because it's just 7 days left. There's not much. So if he comes back in, then who knows? You understand?
No,
Um,
it can work too, Kwa. It would be
mhm,
better because yesterday, like I was telling you earlier, our bench was really nothing. When I
yeah.
say nothing, I'm not doubting the quality, like Premier
Yeah.
League experience.
Right.
Premier
Right.
League
Right.
experience. There was really
Yeah.
nothing there to choose from.
Hmm.
So of course, Aubameyang there makes a difference.
Yep.
You can
Yep.
drop, you can let like I said, continue thinking about creating and put and leave Abba on the shoulder. So we get the best of both worlds right there. I
Yeah.
mean, it could work. It could definitely work. Well,
But
that's
Chuck, hold on,
right.
right? I look at your fr- fr- attack going forward, right? You have Odegaard, you have Martinelli, you have Saka, you have Smith Rowe, you have Lacazette. That for me is like a lot of clubs probably would wish that they had like a young and I mean vibrant attacking front like that because it's like when those guys pass the midfield going forward, it's a lot of pace going forward. So you gonna who do you take off now if Aubameyang has to come back in? You're gonna disrupt something that's been working. Okay, fair enough. It hasn't worked for the last four 4 weeks thereabout or so. Okay. But I still think that that would have been probably better. Um, and then I don't know how it's kind of a struggle to fit Aubameyang in that if these guys were really on top of the game. So I don't know
All right,
how would you
super.
as a fan see that?
I wasn't advocating for him to come in from the start. Nah,
Okay.
we said Lacazette is the best. Is what we work with. But I'm saying if that doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
when it's not working, then you can bring on the Aubameyang.
Aubameyang.
Since
Okay.
he hasn't been in any good form for the season. That's when you
Okay.
bring on the Aubameyang because what we have right now is working, and
Yes,
you can
exactly.
see the plan. So
Mm-hmm.
if what's his name Aubameyang can somehow get the touches right and link with
Mm-hmm.
those guys with that pace, it can work, and it could be a hell of a
Mm-hmm.
second half of the season. Very well be. That's that. But then we're gonna be on a break. I don't think any football playing for the next two
Yeah.
weeks. It's a
Yeah. To the
winter
8th of
break.
February. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Moy.
Just quickly, I can say how y'all feel about it. I just heard rumors about. Oh, go on, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I heard rumors about Declan Rice to Manchester City. And the reason behind of it, we were looking on basically because you know how we had Sané and he's German and he wanted to go back to Germany. And then
Mm,
we have the likes of Ferran Torres and Barcelona came to call him back to Spain. So they were looking on the likes of what if later down the line we're looking at a Busquets retirement and a Casemiro retirement to try to fill in for one of those clubs. Plus he's Spain, plus going back to Spain, he'll be going back to his home club. So he was looking at a replacement for him in the future for Rodri in the future in
English.
case that happens. But then I see it. It could possibly happen. But then I don't think you would want to come and be that rotational player when you're starting week in week out and a captain and can probably get a starting spot at another team.
Yeah, Declan not coming to sit on no bench. I don't care if it's City bench. I know Monchi would think differently, but that's not where he is at the stage of his career right now.
I
mhm.
agree.
That will hamper his development. So I mean, he could come in. I don't know if he can. Yeah, him and Rodri, it could work. I mean, Pep will find a way to make it work.
Mhm.
So it could work, but yeah, I mean, it's not. It wouldn't be the worst move. It wouldn't be the worst move ever. I know Pep would make it work.
Shaq, just on a side note, you look like what they say in the Watford new boss would be Roy Hodgson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a joke. That's a
yeah.
joke.
They say they say as
Hud-
early as Tuesday tomorrow morning. Maybe they'll confirm it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we got wait. We see how that one goes.
Yeah,
Because I personally, whoa, that seems like such a step back.
yeah.
You know, y'all see how that one goes.
Probably
But
you get five.
fans, what you say, Moy?
Probably you get five before the end of the season and they have to bring in one for the last three games.
Yeah, yeah, they probably don't. Watford don't play enough. Watford don't
Yep.
care. They gonna fire you. They gonna fire you. They coming like Chelsea. We talk the trophies. So, fellas,
Yeah.
Well,
we're gonna call it tonight there, and we also gonna come back on Thursday, trash out some more topics. Like I was saying earlier, there's a break, so we don't have no games to
Yeah.
preview and review. So we're gonna touch on some, football relating topics and different
Mhm.
ideas surrounding the game. And we'll see what we come up with for Thursday. We'll be back right here, same time, same place. Talk some more football. You never know. We're gonna wrap up the unknown. Next week Monday we should wrap up the transfer window. But you never know. I'm
Yeah.
hoping to have some Arsenal transfer news when we come back here on Thursday. All right.
Hey, on the
Arsenal's
side
going
note,
out to Dubai. What you said?
Shaq, no Ericsson is back.
Officially going Brentford.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Going to Brentford. Yeah. So
I like
that
that
would be.
move, Sukwa. I like
Yeah,
that move.
I'm happy that I just hope that he's physically ready for the
Yeah.
rigors of that because especially where he's coming back from. So wish him the best with
Well,
that
I
one.
mean, Brentford, I see how we could work at Brentford. They're not too
Hmm.
defensive or anything,
All
and
right.
they do want a little attacking flair going
Yes, they
forward. That
need
could
that. Yeah.
definitely work. I like it. And all the best
Yeah.
to what's his name? Ericsson.
Ericsson. Yeah.
Ericsson. All the best to Ericsson there. So that's that. Thank you, fellas. Thank you,
Yep.
Sukwa. You're riding high now because you're back to
The
winning
Spurs.
ways. You're back to winning ways. But Spurs not
The
nobody, so
Spurs.
don't take no
Yeah.
big heart at that. Boy, you go over the weekend, and I have my eyes on Salasuna. I have my eyes on him. I'm watching him. I'm watching him closely. So that's that. I mean, I'm so glad that January is over. We won't have to play another game in January again. So let's hope for Arsenal fans that February brings us results. All right, so fellas, thank you again. Good
Yep.
night. All the
All right,
best.
fellas. All right.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.